Hi everyone, in this video I'm gonna restore this Westone guitar. It's actually a 12-string guitar, and transform it into a super awesome gift for a friend who has no clue about this happening. So I bought this acoustic 12-string at a really good price. It's I think from 2004, made in Japan. Yeah, it's a really good one. We can see here all the 12 strings. And yeah, first step is gonna be to um, clear or to sand it down, because as you see it's in a bit of a rough condition. It's already starting to crack here, so yeah, I want to do some pyrography art on it anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna first remove the strings and then sand it. I mean, remove the outer layer and then sand it. So I have actually already removed 6 strings, so I'm more than halfway through, and I want to show you a little trick. So sometimes these things can be really stuck, so a trick you can do is to put your hand underneath and just keep trying to move them left and right slightly until they finally come out. Yeah, and now you can take the strings and move to the next ones. All right, so the first step has been a success. We can see that the strings are removed, and there comes the next step, which gonna be to remove this outer finish. And for this I'm gonna use a heat gun, and the idea would be to start there where the finish is already cracked and apply heat to it so it cracks um, everywhere, and then we can easily remove it. Great, now let's have a look how to remove the outer layer. So you want to use this attachment to the heat gun and then turn it on, and then try to apply heat and pressure at the same time, so it kind of starts to peel off. Actually now it can already peel it off without it, but you're gonna see it starts to peel off. So this is the result of removing the finish. um, it's quite a time-consuming process, so you need a lot of patience. Next step is gonna be sanding. I'm gonna use the sanding machine, and I'm out of 80 grit sandpaper, so I'm gonna use 120. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to get rid of these irregularities and make everything nice and smooth for the pyrography part. So we can see here that it's actually going really nicely. The surface is becoming quite smooth, and yeah, I totally recommend using a sanding machine because it makes everything just so much faster. Great, so I finished sanding with the machine, and there are still some rough spots, for example like this one, that I want to try and improve. So I'm gonna do it manually this time. Again, 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna make a sanding block like this, and now we can get to work. And the last sanding step, which is to use 240 grit sandpaper. So yeah, let's go straight into it. Now that the sanding part is over, the next one is drawing the shape we want to burn. And for this piece I'm gonna go with a design inspired by Billy Gibbons pinstripe gold top Les Paul. So yeah, it's gonna be basically a lot of lines, making some really interesting shapes. So that's the plan. My crayon just got out of fuel, so it's time to add a new one. So the first one, it goes all around the guitar, like in this shape. And this is what I'm doing now. Yeah, I just made a mistake. I realized I didn't want the line to be so thick. So I'm gonna try to make it a bit thinner. I will try to stick with the initial design, and I'm gonna add another line like going this way up until, let's say, here, so start and end. um, yeah, which will go parallel with the ones from before. One thing that I couldn't film and I took off camera is that I made these shapes here, which are actually an R and a V, which are the initials of my friend. Let's zoom in a little bit. So now I'm gonna continue filling in these parts, and then the drawing is ready. Now that the drawing process is finished, the next step is doing the wood burning. And yeah, I just let the pen warm up, and should be straightforward for this one. I'm gonna go for a really dark charred look, and yeah, let's dive right into it. Yeah, one thing I forgot is to turn on the ventilator and also bring my mask. It's very recommended to use a mask, so I can only highly recommend it. The ventilator is also super important because if you push it, if you put it, for example, like this, so the smoke blows out, um, preferably towards the window, it's gonna reduce the smell if you're doing it indoors like really drastically, so I can also recommend that. One thing to be careful about is that if you hold, if you touch like this, um, the area around the tip of the burner is also gonna be hot, and it's gonna color the wood, which you might not like. So if you want to be precise, you should really keep it as perpendicular as possible, but this will also burn the wood more because the heat is more concentrated. So yeah, you have to be careful about that, but with a little bit of care, everything should go fine. So the tactic I'm choosing is to do each side of the line at a time, because as you can see here, for example, it's really easy to have the precision in the side you're doing, but you don't have that much precision on the other side. So I'm gonna do one way, then the other way, and fill up the gaps if I have to. And yeah, this tactic is working really good so far. Now the time has come to seal the other part, so we complete the line, kind of like I did in this little section, and or yeah, how I did here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the other side and then fill in the gaps. So first doing the edge of the line and now filling the gaps. And now I just have to repeat that for the rest of the lines. So the wood burning part is done, and this is how the final result looks like. And what I'm gonna do now is take a damp piece of cloth and wipe away all of the little pieces of coal or dust or anything that might still be on the guitar, because we don't want them to be under the finish that we're gonna apply a bit later. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is clean. Yeah, as you can see here, kind of a lot of dust was still in there, so now I'm gonna wait for it to dry and then we will continue with applying the finish. Next part is applying the finish, which in my case is gonna be this true oil. So this is usually used for weapons, but it makes for an excellent guitar finish. And what I'm gonna do is I'll basically applying using a piece of cloth, and I'm just gonna take it, put a little bit on the cloth, and then start rubbing it everywhere on the guitar. So let's jump into it. Once it's done, just repeat the process. So this is the result after applying the first layer. Looks pretty good, but there are a lot of scratches from the wood, for example here. And the thing is that each different part of the wood reacts differently. So let's see what happens when we apply more of them. I'm not sure how many layers I'll apply. I guess I'll just keep going until I'm happy with the final result. So this is the result after applying 4 coats. It looks really nice. Yeah, the scratches are still there, but yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with the color. So I hope you found this interesting and insightful. If you plan on doing something similar, I can totally recommend you to do it. It's a super fulfilling and super fun project to do. And until next time, take care.